How did Jake Retzloff go from having no scholarship offers, attending 2 JUCOs, to becoming the starting QB for a top 10 team? Retzloff would attend high school at Southern California powerhouse Sentinel High School in Corona, California. He played football, basketball, and baseball, but during his junior season, he was thrust into action late in a football game while his team was losing. From then on, he was the starter, throwing for over 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns. He decided he would go all in, trying to play football at the next level, and all signs pointed him to being the starter next season and having one last chance. Then the pandemic hit and he lost his senior season. With no offers before, it seemed nearly impossible, but his well-connected head coach would try. They begged Northern Arizona for a walk-on spot and it didn't work. While Utah Tech offered a walk-on spot, but told Retzloff he wouldn't have any chance to win the starting job. That was not a very good opportunity, so instead he would choose the JUCO path, having to work a job while playing, but knowing once he got on the field, all the outside noise would disappear and it would just be football. He first went to Golden West, where he led the Rustlers to an 11-1 record, throwing for 3,302 yards and 23 touchdowns. But Retzloff wasn't done yet. The next season, he would play at Riverside City College, another JUCO, where one of his wide receivers would be his brother Reggie. In his first game, he showed out, throwing for 529 yards and 6 touchdowns. He finished that season with 4,596 yards, 44 touchdowns, with over 1,200 of those yards and 19 touchdowns going to his brother. Retzloff became one of the top JUCO quarterbacks in the portal, and he would choose BYU. He saw Zach Wilson get drafted number 2 overall and Jaron Hall get drafted. He thought it would be a good spot for him to develop as a quarterback. He also enjoyed the quiet city that would allow him to focus on just football and school. And he felt if football doesn't work out, a BYU degree and the connections he would make there would be very beneficial. But there was one slight difference in faith that many would be skeptical about. Retzloff is Jewish and BYU is a Mormon school. However, BYU has always embraced other faith, and being a faith-based school, it made sense to Retzloff. He's embraced this difference, wearing his Star of David and being nicknamed BY Jew, a nickname he actually loves because he feels it brings 2 communities together that would never be connected without football. And he's able to teach some of his teammates his faith while also learning theirs. And inside the locker room, it's just a bunch of guys with the same goal, to win football game. His first season at BYU started on the bench. Retzloff was named the backup and he would redshirt. However, towards the end of the season, the starter was lost for the year and he would get his chance to shine, but he may have not been ready. He struggled in his first game at West Virginia, a 37-7 loss. The next week against Iowa State ended in a 45-13 loss with an interception on his first play. The following week, 31-24, 2 fumbles and a 100-yard pick six. In his fourth game, they were leading 24-6 at halftime, but that lead was blown. Maybe Retzloff wasn't good enough for D1 football, and he was only good because it was at these JUCOs. At least that's what the outside noise and the doubters would say. However, he would stay confident and knew with time and work, he would be ready. The next season, he would win the starting job over a UCF transfer. And so far, he's been unstoppable, and so has BYU. Over 1,800 passing yards, 18 touchdowns,